With the recent downturn in the U.S. economy, there are large numbers of highly capable, experienced workers who are losing their jobs. In addition, there are many other employees who believe that they may also be out of work by the end of the year. Well, naturally, this development is causing many Americans to reconsider their survival strategies for the balance of their working careers. Our guest today will help shed some encouraging light on this troubling issue. Joining us is Jacques Lubin. Hi, Jacques.
Hi, how are you?
Great. And this is something that I am very familiar with. We are self-employed and independent contractors, and I've had many people in the past say, you know, are you ever scared? Does it scare you that you don't work for somebody else? But there's no telling that you could lose your job working for a big corporation. So why do you think that this is something that more people should look into?
Well, the fact is that people who have jobs are employed because they're good at something. They could be electricians, they could be plumbers, they could be writers. They have any number of skills that someone is paying them for. And when they're working for someone else, they're not necessarily getting the full benefit because the person who's employing them is going to make money off of them. So when you go into business for yourself, you're actually getting all the money, all the compensation that you deserve because there's no middleman between you and the client.
Do you encourage people to reinvent themselves to pursue these opportunities?
Well, only to the extent that people should stop thinking of themselves as unemployed, but think of themselves as independent business owners. So if you are, quote, an unemployed electrician, instead of thinking of yourself that way, you're better off setting up a company, making yourself the president of your electrical company, and going out to potential customers and saying, hey, I have an electrical company, would you like me to come work for you? And so it's a psychological, emotional thing as much as a business decision.
What about financial security? I mean, you really would be in control of your own destiny.
Well, there's another element to that. You're right. First of all, if you don't like a client, you can fire him. If you work for someone else, you basically have one client. That's your boss. If you and your boss don't get along, you're out of work. Whereas if you have a business and you have lots of clients, after a time you can pick and choose the clients that you like and work for people that you enjoy working with and get rid of the people who are making you miserable.
What are some of the financial benefits of an independent contractor?
Well, the truth is that when you are an independent contractor, you can be the president of your own company, and as such, there are some tax benefits. On balance, if you have a good accountant, you'll probably pay less taxes working for yourself than if you work for someone else. I mean, staying within the law. Mm-hmm. And certainly, you have unlimited upside. And so I think that's the major financial benefit of working for yourself as an independent contractor. Now, in Southern California and all over the country, you have people who have skills that they've developed working for others and who are now going into business for themselves. I worked in corporate life for 25 years, and I've owned my company for a number of years now, and I enjoy going to work for myself a heck of a lot more than I ever did working for other people.
Do you wish you had done this a long time ago?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And at first, I was making less money than when I worked for other people, and even when I was making less money, I was a lot happier, and still am.
Somebody that's, you know, been thinking about this, gosh, I really want to go out on my own. I mean, they could come to you and your company, and you can really steer them in how they do this.
Well, what we do is we try to structure the basics of going into business for yourself, because it seems a little intimidating. When you go into business for yourself, you have to set up a corporation. You have to get a home office. You have to get a phone. You have to get a fax. You have to open a business bank account. All of those things sound scary. But when you come to us, it's not that we necessarily do all of those things for you, although we do incorporate you and offer you various services. But as part of our consulting, we just take some of the mystery and some of the fear out of it. We just basically say, look, you know, it's not a big deal. You know, you're going to get a business bank account. You're going to get an accountant or a webmaster, and we'll help you put all the pieces together. And I think people really feel better if they get a little guidance.
I agree, and I think it can be for any industry. You know, anybody can be in business for themselves, and that really is the silver lining, and especially in this economy, and it's a wonderful service.
Well, also, you know, there are a lot of people who don't even have a high school degree who know how to do a lot of things. And they set up businesses, and they don't have to go on an interview and feel like maybe they're not well respected, because now you're interviewing them for what they do, and if they're good at what they do, it doesn't matter how many degrees they have or how much experience they have. It's just a question of whether they do a good job. And that goes all the way up to people who have postgraduate degrees. As long as you can present yourself as a business owner and do a good job, you're going to get a pretty good income.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a wonderful service, and thank you so much for being part of our show.
Well, thank you so much for having me.